Running a business also means you need to be able to have invoices that you can send to your clients. Now, I'm going to show you how you can create an invoice and even use Adobe Sign inside Adobe Express to get signatures for those special projects that you need your clients to sign off on, and how to create a custom thank you card that you can send to your clients all inside Adobe Express. Let's start with using the invoice template found from that link that we've provided in this series. Now, before we dig any further, I want to take a quick moment to pause and thank Adobe Express for partnering with me to bring this series to you. The invoice template is right here, so I'm going to click on this. Once I see this window pop up, I'm going to click on Start a New File. Okay, our invoice is ready for us to start editing. We're gonna go to brands and apply the brand kit. And I can keep on clicking until I find something, but this is pretty good for now. All I wanna do is first and foremost, change that background color. I do not want that yellow. Now I can start going in to make a few adjustments, making the type smaller. For instance, over here, that thank you is really large. So you can start selecting these areas or deleting what areas you're not gonna use and start to make a few adjustments. Now I'm gonna go in and select some of these shapes and start to apply different colors that aren't going to be just too much. The contrast does not work well between this green and this dark, beautiful red. So I'm going to go and make some changes. I made a few more changes. I switched out a couple of fonts from the fonts that we were using for this particular brand. And you may notice that this area over here, which is a table, didn't really change. The brand kit really wasn't applied for the colors or the fonts here, but that is okay. To change this, all you gotta do is make sure you select the table, click on this little plus icon or these directional arrows so that you have everything selected. Then you'll see here two options for your fill colors and the font. Let's change the font first. And what I want to do is make sure I access my brand kit font, and then I can select which text I want to use. I want to use something for the body text. So we're going to go with this one. And of course, it's a little larger, but this is where you can start editing, making the type smaller. And this is going to be pretty good. I can also change the color of the text. For now, we're going to keep it as is. And then we're going to change the background color for these rows. Okay, this is looking really great. I want to make a few tweaks because what I want to do with this design is I'm going to bring this thank you section over here to the bottom, and let's bring this over to the left because I actually need the client to sign off on this before we proceed. So what we're going to do is I'm going to create a little bit more space here, bring this little disclaimer here on the bottom, and we're going to leave this due upon receipt over here. Next, what we want to do is go to add-ons and then search under the Discover tab for Sign for Express. Since I already have this, I can find this under your add-ons, and I'm gonna select this. Now I'll see a window pop up on the far right that is asking me to authorize and connect Adobe Sign. I'm gonna go ahead and authorize, and it's gonna ask you to sign in. Once you get that done, you'll be prompted back to the Adobe Express window. Now that we've authorized Acrobat Sign inside Adobe Express, you'll see this where it says it's good to go, you can grant access, or you can log out. Now, what I wanna do is make sure I have the specific page to render. So if you have an entire document, you can select the whole document and it's going to use that to get signatures. So especially if you're going to include a contract, you can add this in here. Since we're just focusing on the invoice, I'm going to select current page and click on render PDF. Now it's going to tell you review and send agreement. Click on launch Acrobat Sign and it's going to open Acrobat Sign in a new window. Next, what you want to do is start to fill in the information of who you need to get the signatures from. You can click on this icon over here and you can either get signer, approver, or form filler. Right now, because we're going to do a signature, we're going to select signer and then we're going to enter their email, add their name, and then you can customize the message that you need to send them. For now, we're going to leave it as is. And you can see here that says Invoice Address, which is the file that we just pulled in from Adobe Express. Click on next. And then you'll see that invoice again, but this is now inside Adobe Sign. Here is where the magic happens. You can drag specific signature fields like the signature, initials, a signature block, and stamp. I just want a signature, and I'm gonna drag this over here. Then I can add a little bit more information. I can have the person fill their name, their email, even though I did include this already in this invoice over here, if you need to have someone else sign it, you can also add these, and then we can add the date. Then when we're ready to go, there's a few more fields that you can explore. I can click on send, and it's gonna send that to the email and get that signature. And then you'll see this confirmation, and you're good to go. All you need to do is wait for that signature. Now let's design a thank you card so that you can send it to your special clients to thank them for working with you. So we're back at the free templates that we're including for this series. I selected the template for the thank you card, and we're gonna click on start a new file. So we have our thank you card here. We're gonna go through the same process, go to brands, apply the brand kit, and start editing. And this is looking pretty good. Of course, I'm gonna have to make a few tweaks because this looks a little large, but this is going to really help you get started. Now I'm just going in to make some adjustments so that the type fits in here. And we can always go and change these icons. If it doesn't make sense to keep this here with the waves, you can always delete this. Then we're gonna go through the same process of adding the logo and the information here on the bottom. But instead of adding all the similar elements that we just worked on for that business card, how about we bring them over here? So to do this, you can actually access your old design or the design that we just did from Adobe Express by going to your files. So go to your stuff, go to files, and then you see over here that this is the file that we just worked on. So select this. It's gonna bring a pop-up, and you'll be able to select however many pages you wanna add. And so I'm just gonna click on X. I only wanna add this page, then add as a page. Then what you can do is gonna add this over here, then go to this section, make sure you select everything together, copy it. You can also right click to copy. Then go to this page that we wanna make sure we add the information. I'm gonna delete that. Now we paste it in, and you can adjust this slightly larger so that it fits in this area. And let's pretend that we actually had the address and the website link here. Now this is gonna be so much faster for you to proceed with certain elements instead of having to repeat them. And then last thing is that you wanna add your brand mark to this little area. And you can see how easy it's already to edit this. Now there's a little pattern that we had here in the background. You can always go in and replace this. I could even replace it with one of the patterns that I had designed for this brand mark. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and delete this, and now we're gonna work on the back side. Now let's work on the back page. You'll wanna do the same process of applying the brand. But if you like this placeholder copy here with this handwritten style font, go ahead and click on it and see that it's called Adobe Handwriting, because what will happen is that once you apply the brand, it'll also apply that to the fonts. So what you could do as a workaround is toggle this little icon over here and only apply the colors. That way the fonts aren't changed. Then click on Apply Brand. And once you're ready to go, you can go ahead and delete a few of these things. Since we already had this done on the last page, you can click on all of this area and delete this. And you can always go back and copy paste this area onto the new one. So that way you're not having to duplicate everything and kind of keeping this background area white. It's going to be a lot more legible and easier to read. And now you have a quick thank you card. Once you're ready, you can go ahead and click on this icon over here and get your printed cards ordered right inside Adobe Express. You'll find the information as far as what size you want for your card. So if you want to make it a larger or a smaller size, all you need to do is select the type of card that you want to do, click on resize. Adobe Express is going to automatically resize it for you, and then you just make those last little tweaks so that it fits within that area. You're doing great. I hope that you feel very proud of yourself as you're moving through the steps forward to design your brand identity and create these social media templates inside Adobe Express. In this video, you're going to find the next steps that you can use to get started. Thanks for watching. We have an entire playlist where you can learn more right over here.